Lee Anderson is convinced that the fires in Greece are arson and that the Prime Minister's concern that this is a result of climate change is absurd. Lee Anderson is, of course, a senior Conservative minister, the deputy chairman of the Conservative Party, and simply from a point of view of diplomacy, he should know better than to diss the leader of another country on public media. But Lee Anderson, obviously, I don't know why I use the word obviously. One should never use the word obviously. Obviously as a word you use to sort of patronize somebody. If it's not obvious, then it's wrong, and if it is obvious, you don't need to say it. So Lee Anderson is a thug, it seems. Lee Anderson just simply says whatever he wants to say in order to create an effect and to tough it out. Now, it is true that every time there are hill fires in Greece, there are charges of arson, and sometimes these are correct, sometimes these are not correct. There are three ways in which a fire can get started. One by arson, two by accident, and three by some sort of spontaneous combustion. And the heat is such in Athens, in Greece, at the moment, that I think number three is certainly possible. There's a lot of very dry land around Athens, around the islands. The two men who were arrested the other day in Kefalonia, not in Rhodes, not in Corfu, not around the fires burning near Athens. They're arrested in Kefalonia, and there are so many other fires burning. So if arson is suspected, there are so far no arrests, and I think arson is highly unlikely in Rhodes. The fire in the where is it now? There's the northern part of the island moving towards Malona village. The fire in the southern part of the island near the villages of Ganadi and Vati. This is destroying people's lives and destroying people's livelihood. I can't see that arson is something that would make sense. Arson is something about small fires which may get out of control, but it's about small fires and about somebody trying to claim on insurance. And 10 homes damaged as a fire passed Asclepio village north of the coastal resort of Kyotori in southern Rhodes. Hotels evacuated and threatened. Some hotels, I think, burnt. Lema, a village in the center of the island, has suffered serious damage. I think the bigger problem is not so much arson or accidental firefighting, but the force of the winds and how this fans the flames. There's also fires on Evia, in the region of Charistos, and there's fires in Platanistos, Potami, fires all over the place. There can't be so many arsonists. And I think it's contemptuous and provocative of the deputy chairman of the Conservative Party to make these pronouncements on a national television. I think in the last 24 hours, there's 63 fires that have broken out. Now, I don't think, even if one of those was the result of arson, the rest were not. The rest were something else. I just don't think there's that many arsonists in Greece. And if it's a choice between believing Greek news and the Greek Prime Minister and believing the deputy leader of the Conservative Party, who emerges as a thug, who has a program which is probably one of the most asinine programs on television and shouldn't have a program because he's a sitting minister in the Conservative government and it's against the rules, and Ofcom is too asinine and emasculated to actually do anything. Who am I going to believe? The Prime Minister of Greece or Lee Anderson? Who are you going to believe? The Prime Minister of Greece, Kyriakos Mitsotakis, or Lee Anderson?